Someone has written to me, expressing a sentiment that I feel we must examine together with great care. They say, I am dissatisfied with everything. I have read and thought a great deal, but my discontent with the whole universe is still there. What you talk about makes me more discontented, more disturbed, more troubled. I now feel frustrated, antagonistic to you. What is wrong with what you are saying? Or is something wrong with me? This is perhaps one of the most fundamental questions a human being can ask. I think the more one seriously observes the world, observes what is actually happening around us, the overpopulation, the pollution scarring the earth, the rampant corruption in our systems, the endless violence, the tribalism of our politics, observing all of this practically in every country in the world, one must be discontented. To be well adjusted to this society, to look at this profound disorder and feel content would be a sign of great insensitivity, would it not? So, if you are sane, you are trying to find an answer to all this chaos. That is one part of the problem. But the other part, which the questioner touches upon so deeply, is this internal discontent. He says, I am discontented not only with what you are saying, but with everything around me, with my job, with my wife, with my husband, with my relationships, with my own thoughts. This feeling of profound, gnawing dissatisfaction is the common lot for most of us, even if we dare not admit it. And when this discontent arises, it seems we have two paths. Either it becomes a consuming flame, a source of extraordinary energy, or, and this is the path most of us take, it is dampened down. We smother it by seeking some kind of satisfaction, some kind of gratification in the various activities of life. Instead of allowing this discontent to become that consuming creative flame, most of us are terrified of it, and so we seek to destroy it. We are, you and I, so easily satisfied. We are so tragically gullible, so ready to accept any comfort that is offered, any authority that promises security. We join a political party, we throw ourselves into a career, we chase money, we chase pleasure, we dedicate ourselves to a particular ideology, or we immerse ourselves in religious dogma, all in an effort to find a safe harbor where this feeling of discontent can no longer touch us. And so gradually our discontent withers away, and we become what the world calls normal, mature, realistic human beings. We become mediocre, not in our jobs or our talents, but mediocre in our hearts, without any real vitality, without that profound energy, without any inner urge to find out what is true. But this questioner says, I have been through all that. I have read a great deal. I've thought about life a great deal. I have not found an answer to this discontent. This implies he has not been easily satisfied. He has seen, as perhaps you are beginning to see, that our systems have failed us. The thoughtful person, the person who is truly aware of what is happening around them and in themselves, sees that politics, science, and organized religion have not answered any of our deep human problems. Technologically, we have evolved astonishingly. We can fly to the moon and communicate across the globe in an instant, but inwardly we are still as we were, frightened, anxious, jealous, violent, and confused. So this person remains inwardly discontented, and then listening to me, listening to what is being said here, he finds himself more disturbed, more discontented, and even antagonistic. He asks, "What is wrong with you and what you are saying?" Or, "Is there something wrong with me?" This is the real crux of the matter. Why does this antagonism arise? Perhaps it arises because you have come here, as most people do, unconsciously seeking satisfaction. You are discontented and you want to find a state of contentment. You want an answer, a system, a method, a new assurance, some gratifying truth that you can hold on to. You want me to give you a comforting formula that will finally dampen that flame. And I am not doing that. I am not offering you a new belief system, a new dogma, or a new path to follow, because all paths, all systems, all beliefs are just further forms of satisfaction, further ways of escaping the central fact of your own confusion and discontent. So when I refuse to provide that comfort, when I point out that the search for satisfaction is the very trap that destroys your energy, you feel frustrated. You feel antagonistic. This is a very natural reaction. You are, in effect, saying, "I came to you for medicine, and you are telling me the desire for medicine is part of the sickness. You are causing me much more disturbance." So we must be extraordinarily clear, you and I, about the nature of this discontent. We must investigate whether this discontent that you feel has a cause. If it has a cause, then that discontent is merely the other side of the coin of contentment. You understand? If I am discontented because I am poor, my discontent is caused by my desire to be rich. If I am discontented because I am lonely, my discontent is based on my desire for companionship. If I am discontented with my government, my discontent is rooted in my idea of what a better government should be. The moment there is a measure, a comparison, there must be discontent. As we said the other day, where there is a cause, there is an end. If your discontent has a cause, then that cause can be removed and you will find your satisfaction. You will find your contentment. And if that is what you are seeking, if this deep discontent you feel is merely a search for its opposite, to be contented, to be satisfied, to be completely bourgeois, completely asleep, never to be disturbed again, then you will find a way. You will find some new ideology, some new guru, some new relationship, or some new hobby to pour yourself into, and that fire of discontent will be withered, gone. Perhaps this is what most of us are doing, even here. You may have been to this talk, to that teacher, to that retreat, and you perhaps come here wanting some kind of certainty, some assurance, some deeply gratifying truth. If that is so, you will find satisfaction very easily in the kitchen, in some aspect of organized religion, in politics of the left, right, or center. And this is what generally happens. Inevitably, you narrow down the mind, you make the mind small. When the capacity of the brain, your capacity, is so immense, you have reduced this extraordinary instrument to a mere tool for seeking its own gratification. But if you're not satisfied with anything, if you're truly discontented with the whole universe, as the questioner puts it, and I mean this not at the superficial level of wanting a better car or a bigger house or a more prestigious job, which is merely the search for a new and better form of satisfaction, then we are talking about a discontent that is of a totally different quality. Is it possible that there is a discontent that has no cause and therefore is a discontent in itself, not because of something? Are we able to make this distinction clear between us? If I am discontented and I am seeking contentment, that entire process is very simple, very shallow, and very easy to understand. It is the mechanical movement from one opposite to another, from one comfort to the next. But if I am totally, completely dissatisfied with everything, dissatisfied with the governments of the left and the right, seeing them as two branches of the same tree of conflict and power, dissatisfied with organized religion, seeing all the rituals, dogmas, and saviors as inventions of thought to provide psychological comfort, dissatisfied with science as the ultimate answer, seeing that while it gives us technology, it cannot give us compassion or end our sorrow, dissatisfied with the entire structure of our society, which is based on acquisition, comparison, and tribal identity. If you see the futility of the whole thing, then you are in a state of profound discontent. Such a person is extraordinarily rare because such a person has this flame. It is an all-consuming fire. It is not the discontent of a pouty child who didn't get what he wanted. It is the discontent of a mind that has seen the prison and refuses to call any part of it freedom. Perhaps such a person comes here, listens to these words, reads a book, and that discontent, instead of being pacified, increases. It becomes an all-consuming flame, burning away all the trivialities, all the false hopes. So, what shall we do? What happens to a human being who is totally and completely dissatisfied, not with a particular object, but with the entire structure of thought itself? As I said, such a person is a very rare human being, and one can meet such a person because they are, if you will listen carefully, in an immovable state. They are not seeking, they are not wanting, they are not pursuing something or other because they have seen the emptiness of all pursuits. They are simply aflame with this thing. And the speaker, what I am saying, is also immovable. What is being said here is so, not because I am dogmatic, not because I am superstitious or romantic or self-assertive, but because it is a fact that can be observed. I have said for 60 years that if you, as a human being, can comprehend your own consciousness with its entire content, your fears, your anxieties, your beliefs, your conditioning, your sorrows, and find the freeing of that consciousness from its content, there is a totally different dimension. I have discussed this with scientists, with philosophers, with great scholars, and many have acknowledged that it is so. The scientists, they seek that which is beyond by studying matter, looking through telescopes at the origins of the universe, or through microscopes at the smallest particle. And I am saying that human beings with their brain, their heart, their mind are matter. This entire structure is a material process. Instead of looking at matter outside of you, inquire into this matter that is you. In that inquiry, you can go infinitely further, because in that inquiry, you can find the ending of sorrow, the ending of fear, the ending of this constant agonizing conflict. So, these two entities meet. Are you following this? On the one hand, there is this human being who is completely discontented, immovable in that flame. Nothing satisfies him, not words, not books, not ideas, not leaders, not politics, not the comfort of gods. He is in a state of absolute negation of the force. And on the other hand, there is the speaker, equally immovable, who says, "This is so. Look, what happens when these two human beings, these two states meet. It is not a romantic idea, not something invented out of imagination. This is a psychological fact." The questioner says, "I feel frustrated, antagonistic to you." Now, we must look at this very, very carefully. The moment he says, "I am antagonistic to you," he has already moved. I wonder if you can follow this. He is no longer in that state of pure, immovable discontent. The moment he feels antagonism or frustration or even agreement, he has moved away from what is burning. He has reacted. And by reacting, he has already softened that flame. He has sought escape. He has created a new center of resistance. It is easier, is it not, to be antagonistic to me than it is to remain with the terrifying, consuming fire of total discontent, which leaves you with no center at all. The antagonism is a new form of security, a new identity, a new wall to hide behind. Therefore, he is no longer completely dissatisfied. He has found a new subtle object of satisfaction, his own resistance. The other, the speaker, has no antagonism. I am not offering you a position to be antagonistic towards, because I am not defending a theory, nor am I establishing a new form of authority or a new cage for you to enter. I am simply pointing to the fact that this antagonism you feel is a form of self-protection, a barrier you have created because you are frightened of that which is being said, or perhaps even more, frightened of the very flame of discontent within you. This antagonism is a movement of thought, a movement of the self, which feels it is being threatened. The me that is built on satisfaction, on knowing, on having a position, feels attacked when it is shown that its very foundation is the source of conflict. But when this person, when you can meet what is being said without this reaction, without wanting something from me, not an answer, not a comfort, not a method to end your pain, when you are no longer seeking, then you are in that same immovable state. Then you are alike. Have you understood this? I wonder if this is truly clear, or if it just sounds like a mystical or romantic idea. Let us be very precise. If your discontent has developed antagonism, it is no longer pure discontent. It has become a reaction, a movement of self-preservation, which is a movement of thought, a movement of fear. You have sought refuge in your own opposition because it is easier to fight me than it is to face the emptiness that this total discontent reveals. But if you remain with that flame, if you are a flame with what you call discontent, a discontent that has no cause, no object, and therefore no opposite, it's a tremendous fire, an immense energy, and the other, the speaker, what is being pointed to, is also that same aflame state. You understand, then both are the same. Fire is a fire. It is not your fire and my fire. It is simply fire. This is the crucial point. We, in our desire to be separate, to be individual, to own our experiences, say I am discontented, or you have the truth, we create a division based on the me and the you. But when the fire is pure, when it is not dampened by fear, by seeking, or by antagonism, there is no you or me, there is only that state of flame, that extraordinary energy of perception, of intelligence. When the fire is dampened, however, when you say I'm frustrated or I'm antagonistic or I'm seeking a solution, then the two are different. Then there is you and the speaker, and you are lost in the conflict between the two, lost in the world of opposites, seeking satisfaction. And this dampening is what we are trained to do from the moment we are born. It is the entire function of our modern society. Are you discontented, lonely, feeling a sense of inner poverty? Here, buy this product and you will feel complete. Are you confused, uncertain about the world? Here, join this political tribe, follow this ideology, and you will have all the answers and a clear enemy to blame. Are you feeling insignificant? Here, post your life on social media, collect followers, measure your worth in likes and shares, and you will feel a temporary sense of importance. These are all the ways we are taught to dampen the flame, to find immediate, trivial satisfaction, and so we never allow this divine discontent to burn away the false and reveal what is true. We become, as I said, mediocre, satisfied with the toys of the world while the house is burning down. So, if I may ask you directly, what is your condition of discontent? You are a human being living in this truly terrible, chaotic, and violent world. We see the news. We hear the scientists who are saying that within 50 years, because of our greed and conflict, the earth may be almost uninhabitable. You see the divisions, the hatred, the sorrow, not just in the world, but in your own life, in your own consciousness. In the face of all this, what is your discontent? Is it merely puerile, childish, immature? Are you simply discontented because you haven't got the house you want, or the recognition you crave, or the relationship that you think will save you? Is it a discontent that is merely seeking a better, more comfortable, more satisfying cage? If it is, that is a very small affair, and you will find your satisfaction and die in your comfort, having contributed to the chaos. Or are you, as a human being, seeing this whole rotten structure totally and completely aflame with discontent? And if you are, can you remain with that flame, never developing a reaction against it, never becoming frustrated, never becoming antagonistic, never seeking an escape, but simply letting that flame be alive? Can you let it burn away every illusion, every hope, every fear, every word that I am saying? If you can do that, if you can stay with that fire without moving, then that fire is not your fire. It is the fire of intelligence itself. And then there is no speaker and no listener. There is only that consuming reality.